Chapter, a Deepwoken guild created back during verse 1 with one goal only, to become the best. Competing with the likes of Misery and Lancelot, Chapter was right there with them. They kept growing and growing, gaining more and more members as each day went by, even establishing themselves as the pinnacle of Deepwoken from the end of verse 1 to the start of verse 2. In any aspect of the game, Chapter was the best and couldn't be beaten even once, as they ruled over the entirety of Deepwoken for 3 whole years. So where did it all go wrong? Early 2024, the time that Chapter founded Deep League. Deep League was founded for the sole purpose of creating a more competitive side to Deepwoken for guilds and players to fight outside of Chime of Conflict. After founding Deep League, Chapter went on the craziest winning streak of all time. Chapter was the definition of demon time, and they ran literally everything, and nobody could compete with them. They never even lost a single match for 3 straight years. But this almost endless winning streak was soon to be ended when Chapter fought another comp guild called Scene. Being known as the big dog in town, Chapter rarely warred other guilds, making it extremely hard to even get a single war with them in the first place. However, Scene not only got one chance, but they were able to secure 2 wars against Chapter, which was near impossible unless you were one of the biggest guilds in Deepwoken at the time. In Scene's first war against Chapter, they were destroyed, losing 2-0 without even picking up more than a single kill the entire war. But Scene wasn't shocked at this performance. Scene knew that they stood absolutely no chance against Chapter in the first place, but they wanted another shot. In the next few months, there will be a Deep League event called World Cup, containing special rewards from the developers of Deepwoken. Scene wanted as much practice as possible against Chapter before this major event, with the hopes of eventually beating them during the event. Nobody expected that what was supposed to be a literal practice round for Scene would take a completely unexpected turn. February 9th, 2025. The day that Scene warred Chapter for the second time. After a brutal loss the first time, they went into this war with low expectations, mainly using this war as a stepping stone to eventually defeat Chapter in the World Cup. Getting this second try meant a lot, and was only possible due to both guilds conveniently wanting more practice before the World Cup. But the luck for Scene doesn't end here. A roster player for Chapter, going by the name of Rem, forgot the password to his own account only a day before the war. This was a big hit to Chapter, seeing that Rem was one of their strongest players and very valuable to them during a war. Scene was jumping for joy, knowing that they didn't have to fight one of the best players in the entire game on a build that fully countered each of their own due to a simple screw-up on Chapter's end. But this joy lasted only a short time, because Chapter replaced Rem with an even scarier player, Sheep in Sheepskin.
Let's get mixy, baby.
Sheep in Sheepskin is a popular YouTuber known for always being near the top of competitive Deepwoken for years. Having such a strong player in their team would surely strengthen Chapter's roster, and that it did. The first round of the war went by with not even a single grip on Scene's end, making them lose by a landslide. Luckily, this round resulted in a redo due to a rule break on Chapter's end. But make sure you remember this redo, because this redo single-handedly saved us from losing the entire war. After the first round started, Scene realized that there was another change on Chapter's side. Chapter's leader, Smooth, ended up swapping builds, going from Ice Dagger in the first war to now on Light's Final Toll in the second war. This choice, although questionable, was another hassle for Scene to get over. Scene realized that they were getting nowhere, and just like that, the second round was over. Another loss. This time though, it wasn't as bad. Scene was somehow able to secure 2 kills in round 2. Something changed this round. In both rounds against Chapter, Scene noticed something important. Chapter could not function as a team. Each of their builds heavily contradicted each other, and in some cases, even made the fights worse when they fought together. Scene determined 2 people to be the major threats on Chapter's team. These people were Acid and Matthias, both of whom could deal a crazy amount of damage during the war. But both these players had a fatal flaw: their health. Acid, in particular, had the lowest health in the entire chapter roster, making him a prime target. However, targeting Acid alone wasn't enough. We needed someone to make it harder for him to fight. And that person wasn't on the scene roster, and his name was Smooth. That's right, by making Smooth the chapter leader fight close to Acid, his own tranquil circle would make it even harder for Acid to fight back. This strategy changed the way everyone thought about wars going forward. Scene felt confident going into the next round. Despite getting their literal asses handed to them in the last 2 rounds, they were prepared this time. The 3rd round begins with a score of 1-0. Scene must win this round if they want to go to a tiebreaker and potentially win against Chapter for the first time in 3 whole years. The next round begins by placing a target on Acid, instantly preventing him from going on the offensive. And just as Scene hoped, Smooth ran over to Acid's rescue, making their strategy complete. Acid quickly goes down a few minutes into the match, giving Scene a free advantage and securing them the victory with 0 deaths. From getting flawless the first round to winning the second round with not even a single death, Scene knew the strategy was working. It all comes down to the final match. Round 3 starts, and both guilds fight for the final time. Scene continues with their thought-out strategy, but this time, Chapter is much more prepared. Chapter learns from their mistakes, and Smooth no longer uses his tranquil circle around his teammates. But they made another mistake. Acid was wide open. To counter our strategy, Chapter should have defended Acid as best as they could, but they didn't. And when I tell you we targeted Acid, we targeted Acid, man. Acid was once again the first player dead. But it wasn't over. This time, both Chapter and Scene were on their last legs, and it all depended on who the next kill was. Chapter, carrying the last 3 years of their perfect domination over Deepoke in history, and Scene carrying, not really anything. The last 3 years of Chapter's reign over Deepoken was about to end.
It's red, bro. Pins my lock.
Wait, Sheep is red? Oh, shit.
How is Sheep red?
Because he's
Luxie
loud.
is red
Just
too.
messing him up, bro.
Luxie is red. Matthias is red. Lufus is
Same
red.
shit.
There's so many red. Wait, whoever dies first here just
Smooth is red. Yo.
Yo, and
Whoever
Lutz
dies
is
first
orange,
loses.
bro.
Luxie
And Lutz is still orange.
Yellow.
Tanky as hell.
Matthias is taking it, bro.
Nice! Come here. Watch out, Luxie! Nice! Who's dead? Oh, let's go! Let's go!
I'm fucking the shit out of Sheep. I'm fucking the shit out of Sheep.
Yo, you're high, right? You're high, health, right?
Let's go! Oh my god!
No way we just beat Chapter.
Yo! Yo!
Hey, who's
They
winning?
dropped Smooth! They dropped Smooth! They dropped him! It's over! It's over! It's over! It's over! It's over! Chapter with their first loss! Chapter with their first loss! What?
Oh my god.
Yo!
And just like that, Chapter lost for the first time in 3 whole years.
You don't got the Deepoke concussion anymore. Yo, go against Kai.
Oh, and Red
Yeah, you're gonna get. Oh, no, that was
Nah,
bad.
he's all that.